Bowness is a small Scottish town that lies on the bank of the Firth of Forth. It used to be known for its mining, but today it's famous for being home to the largest children's fair in the UK. Some even claim that it's the biggest in Europe. It began in 1897, and while other fairs are dying out, the one in Bowness just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
The fair, it means everything.
Bowness just wouldn't be Bowness without the fair day. That's it.
It brings out the best in people.
I'm Bowness born and bred, and I'm proud of the fair, and always have been.
It's really the beginning of the summer holidays, and it's a lovely way to start off the summer.
I guarantee that there is not one Bownessian born and bred here who doesn't have a knot in his stomach on the morning of Bowness Fair.
And the feeling in the town at this time is fantastic.
And when you see our heralds going up the edge of the town to announce the fair a month before the fair, and then the flags and banners go up in the street, the main topic of conversation becomes either the fair or an eye on the weather to see what it's going to be.
Inspired by Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee celebrations, Bownessians decided that they should have their own queen. And ever since then, apart from the war years, the last day of the school year has brought thousands of people to the Bowness Town Hall to see children dressed up as characters, including fairies, flower girls and a champion, and to be entertained by the presentees dancing for their newly crowned queen.
I'm 17 now, and if loads of folk go, I ken your face, and they're like, oh, you were the queen, and it's like everybody kens me for that.
And that'll be forever. Because I go about Bowness and I'll say, she was the queen at the fair, she was the queen at the fair, she was the queen at the fair, because you remember every single one of them.
I mean, I can remember in 1947 I was a fairy.
All three of my daughters were fairies, which is the first kind of stage that primary kids become involved. You can imagine what it's like for a wee primary, 2 kids, 6 years old, to come running to the door, Dad, I'm going to be a fairy. You get picked up by their enthusiasm.
I've been to the fair since I've been born. I've been there every year, and I've already been a fairy, a flower girl and a presentee, so I've been in the fair quite a few times as well.
When I had my kids, Megan was a fairy, Danny, my second, was a fairy, Kerry's been a fairy, and my youngest been a fairy. Megan was never a presentee, but she was a flower girl and she was the queen. Danny's been a presentee twice, Kerry's been a presentee twice, and Lee's been a presentee. I was a fairy and a presentee and a flower girl, and then I was queen of the flower girls at the fair. So it's in our blood.
The primary schools in Bowness take it in turns to provide the retinue for the fair, and every girl secretly hopes that when it's her school's turn, she'll get the most votes from her classmates and be chosen as the queen, or get the second most votes to be the chief lady.
It's the 100th fair, Bowness, with the queen, and so it's really big this year. And
when she come in with the permission slip, I ticked the queen, the chief lady, lady in waiting, bower girl, everything. I just ticked a lot, and she went away back to school with her permission slip. And then, as I say, it was just a waiting game.
It's about popularity, but it's you just have to be nice and stuff.
It's just the unknown, and folks saying, God, your lass has got a good chance of being the queen, but you think, oh well, we'll just have to wait and see.
The kids are excited but worried in case they've put in for it to be one of the main characters, but they're not going to be it. So there's you've got to think about the excitement if they are a main character, and the disappointment for the kids if they're not a main character.
Mostly everybody wants to be the queen, so I wanted to be her.
She's the queen of Bowness for a year, a whole year. So it's definitely her day.
I got a phone call and I started to shake. Literally, it started to shake.
It's tension when you're wondering what your kid's going to be at the fair.
I went, oh my God, I hung up. I ran out into the street shouting, my daughter's a queen.
Everybody would like to be the queen, but hard lines.
I was really excited when I got told I was the queen, and then I felt even more excited because I was the 100th, and it was special.
Ailey might be the 100th queen, but every girl that's been chosen to be the queen has felt special. Margaret was just as excited back in 1951 when she was the 43rd queen.
That's me as an 11-year-old. Well, I think they had brought out 2 dresses, which were very plain Jane and no nonsense. And my mother's friend said, no way was that suitable for Bowness Fair. We needed something really exciting. And the lady went away and said this dress had just arrived from London that morning. And we tried that on, and of course it fitted. In comparison to today's, it's very, very plain and simple. But I thought it was a bee's knees dressed up like this. Gorgeous.
We went to the local material shops up in Linlithgow, and we got they have bridal books, so we picked the material out of there. We wanted it just to be stunning. This is Duchess satin, and this is Lipman lace. I mean, it's all hand beaded. It's got like loads of wee pearls here, and it's got all your wee beads here. These are Swarovski crystals coming down the middle here. And the dressmaker, she's actually went to the bother of sewing them round the sleeve again just to finish it off. And I think she's made a great job of it.
For as long as anyone can remember, parents have built arches outside their homes to celebrate their children's involvement with the fair. There's an extra pressure when you're the Queen, though, to build a really impressive arch.
The arches began as a tradition where people collected boxwood and made paper flowers and built a sort of wooden construction. But in more recent years it's become a tradition to build an arch or a house frontage that's either a castle or in theme with a queen and her court.
Whenever somebody's chosen to be either a character in the fair, part of the Queen's retinue, or one of the major characters, all these people have massive house frontages. And I defy anybody to say that any other town in Scotland goes to the extent that the people of Bowness do to make Bowness Children's Fair Festival quite unique.
These are mainly built by friends of Dad. Material is borrowed and bought, and gangs get together and they spend many hours constructing the arch to be erected.
I'm helping my friend and his family, just as the majority of people in Bowness seem to do. They help their friends and family and whatever at the Bowness Fair. You just lend your time and lend a hand, and as I say, it's not actually for the parents, it's actually for the kids. And the history of the Bowness Fair.
It's been brilliant. The community spirit's been superb. Couldn't ask for better neighbours, better friends. Everybody's mucked in. There's a few more beers there, I must admit.
Oh aye, the amount of work that's went into this is unbelievable. It's been going on for months. And raising the money and everything, all that side of it.
Last year I think I spent about £6,000 following Rangers all over Europe, down to Manchester, everywhere. France, Spain, all over. And this year it's on hold. The season ticket's been cancelled because I've got an arch to pay for and frocks to pay for and different things. But you get used to it and that. But once you see this, the pressure of doing the arch, getting our dresses done and everything, from everything, right from day one, the pressure's just unbelievable. But once you see the arch up, and you see everything coming together, that's a big sigh of relief. That's well worth it. That's my boy. And I'll tell you, if he comes in and says he's a champion, we're immigrating. Hey mate.
Years ago it used to be like chicken wire and greenery. You used to go down to the woods and stuff like that to pick up like fern and greenery, and it was chicken wire, and you just intertwined all the greenery like through the arches and then made paper flowers, and that's what got stuck on them. But now it's plans and building and like manpower, and so the arches have got a lot bigger over the years, definitely.
I think my father wanted something different, from the normal arch that had been in the past. They decided on this arch because of the background of the tower at Bridgeness. They thought it was a nice way. You know, people nowadays think, oh, you started it all with this arch, but they don't realise it wasn't really expensive in the way that arches are expensive now, because it was tarred paper. That's all it was, tarred paper and crepe paper roses.
We didn't expect to build as big as we've built, because having her as a queen, I decided I was just putting up a wee arch. But it got out of hand. We had one fundraiser with a prize bingo, and we raised £800 to put towards the wood and stuff for our arch. But it's got a lot bigger than I actually planned it to be in the beginning, because I wasn't planning on getting scaffolding and stuff, because you've got to depend on company. You didn't pay for your scaffolding, you've got to depend on like companies to come out and put it up for you and give you it free of charge because it's for the fair. So I didn't want scaffolding and that, but we've ended up having to get the scaffolding and that as well, so it is bigger than I was originally planning to do.
Well, I thought that day, but well, I'll get your...
Every other queen has castle, so I didn't want that, so I came up with the cake. This is the second person that we've had to design March, because the first person, she wanted to like make it just the size of my garden. It was too wee. I wanted a big arch, but she was just making it the size of the garden, so I didn't want that.
It's 8 metres high and it's 5.5 metres wide. We're using confetti cannons and bubble machines, and we've also got twinkling lights in the whole of the cake. I think it's looking terrific. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it.
It's the day before the fair, the faireen, when people come from far and wide to admire the arches outside the homes of all the children involved. But over at the Chief Lady's Arch, things haven't quite gone to plan.
Cars will start coming round to see the arches just shortly, and we've still got windows to do. That roof's to get painted, and we've got material to go round there and material to go under, and plants and flowers and stuff just to finish it off, and then once that's done the lights can go on it for the night. I just wished that the arch was finished and done and dusted, but it's no, but we'll get there. It'll be finished tonight, hopefully.
This is a cable that lights everything up. I'm just got to chase it along, put it in the house to let you see it. But this is a base. Had to build all this to level up the street. You see a lot more work inside than you see outside. These lights here, we've used 3,500 or 3,600, I think it is. We had to measure them. We had a bit of wood measuring that. We were just flipping it around, marking it. So it was that took longer than building the blooming arch. It took us about 2 weeks to put the lights in. I was going, so it's all right. It's done now. That's it. So part and parcel. So the fun of the fair, as they say. All the fun of the fair. Roll up. Get your shot here. So.